Hey everyone, just a quick announcement before we get to our first chapter Friday video. I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to need to put our new segment Thursday Truths on hiatus probably until next month, just due to some unforeseen circumstances. So hopefully that will be getting started next month, but in the meantime I'm not going to be uploading videos on Thursdays for the rest of this month, just because I don't have anything planned, because I got to move everything to next month. Monday's video may be a little sporadic as well, but we'll have to wait and see. You will definitely have book talks and first chapter Fridays for the rest of this month, but and we'll have another Wondering Wednesday interview, but Mondays and the last Wednesday of the month, we may or may not have a video. Things are just a little bit crazy right now in my school stuff going on. So yeah. So that is my announcement, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's first chapter Friday video. You get 2 books instead of 1, and they're both awesome. Okay, let's get on to that video. Hey everyone, and welcome to First Chapter Friday. So this week we are doing our double First Chapter Friday because I missed last week. So I'll be reading the first chapter of 2 books to you this week. So the first book that we're going to look at is Tight by Torrey Maldonado. And let's read the summary on the back of the book to find out what it's about. Brian knows what's tight for him: reading comics, drawing superheroes, and hanging out with no drama. But drama is every day where he's from, and that gets him tight, wound up. And now Brian's friend Mike is pressuring him with ideas of fun that are crazy risky. At first, it's a rush following Mike, hopping turnstiles, subway surfing, and getting into all kinds of trouble. But Brian never really feels right acting so wrong, and drama really isn't him. So which way will he go? Especially when his dad tells him that it's better to be hard and feared than liked. But if there's one thing Brian's gotten from his comic heroes, it's that he has power to stand up for what he believes is right. Okay, let's look at this first chapter. Chapter 1. I'm chilling at the community center where Ma works. She's cool with her boss and coworkers, so they're cool with me and my sister Ava being at Ma's job after school. Usually Ava chills for minutes. Me, hours. I don't know why Ava doesn't hang longer. Maybe she's too busy with her 9th grade life, but me? I like doing office things, like Ma, reading, being quiet, and chilling forever. For example, about a month back, I found this empty spot at Ma's job and asked her if I could use it as my pretend office. She asked her boss, and she told Ma, sure, we also have a spare desk chair and some other supplies Brian can use. So right now I'm doing homework in my office, but this kid named Mike is at Ma's desk and I'm distracted spying on him. He's a year older than me and about 2 inches taller. He rocks a sweater like mine, but his kicks are newer and more popular. He has hair like me, Afro type if we grew it out. Mine's grown out a little since I need a cut. He's just got one. Now he's alone, but I've seen him and his mom here 2 or 3 times. I didn't think twice about Mike at first because lots of kids and their parents come through here. Then I saw him at my school hanging with 7th graders. He didn't do his 6th grade at my school, so why'd he transfer for his 7th grade? I asked Ma, and she said that his family was in the Bronx, and she helped him get an apartment here in Brooklyn in our projects. In school, me and Mike nod, what's up, but don't hang. I see him around the neighborhood too and at handball courts near us. Then, the other day I saw him talking to my pops. I didn't get why Pa was so friendly to him, and I don't get why Mike is here now talking to Ma. I squinted them. Did Mike just call Ma, Ma? I asked Ava, who's in my office looking at my homework on my clipboard. Ava stares from the clipboard at him and shrugs. Who cares? Almost anyone younger than her calls her Ma. That's true. Ma helps lots of people and they love her. But I don't like this kid Mike calling her Ma right now. I ask Ava, why is he playing her so close? Ava goes back to reading the clipboard, but I can't look away. Mike stares at Ma like he's his mom for real and gives her a hug. Yo, he better let go of my mom's. Ava interrupts me and points at different spots on my clipboard. You spelled some stuff wrong. What? Where? Nothing should be wrong because I checked it twice like Ma says to do. I looked where she points. Ugh, she's right. I hate it when she's right. I grab a pencil, take the clipboard, and fix my mistakes. By the time I look up again, Mike's about to leave. He yells, Bye, Ma. I turn to Ava. He just called her Ma again. She rolls her eyes. Because he's probably her real son, unlike you. Here she goes again, cracking that stupid joke she's been cracking since I was in daycare, telling me Ma and Pa found me in a trash can. Back then, I believed her since me and Ava have different complexions. Hers is chocolate brown, and I'm a lighter caramel. The first time she said it, I ran to Ma and she showed me our birth certificates. Ava got punished, but she never stopped joking. I wasn't her brother, like right now, and for some reason, it still bothers me. Well, I wish Mike was my real brother, she continues. He's no mama's boy like you. My whole head burns like I have a fever. I want to cut on her so hard, but only weak disses come to mind. I finally growl, "Big head." Ooh, big head, ouch. I can't wait until Mike comes to eat. Eat? What do you think? He calls Mom Ma, and he won't come eat soon? You know anyone who calls Mom Ma ends up eating with us. You saw how she hugged him. Ma sneaks up on us. What's going on with you two? We shut up. You were both going at it, now you're quiet? Brian's mad because he hugged Mike. Mom makes a face like I'm her baby and I have nothing to worry about. Come here. I go over and she hugs me. You don't have to worry about Mike. You'll see him tomorrow night. He's coming for dinner. Okay, so that is chapter 1 of Tight. Okay, the next one we're going to be talking about is called The Stars Beneath Our Feet by David Barclay Moore. And the cool thing is if you look at the bottom of the cover, it looks like Legos. So I have a feeling that this book has something to do with Legos. So let's go ahead and read the summary on the back. Oh, and look at this. It all started with 2 garbage bags full of Legos. Or maybe it was Jermaine dying. Or that fight they had before Maine got shot. Lolly's having a hard time knowing how to be without his older brother around. Seemed like he's either sad or mad. The thing that helps most is building. His mom's girlfriend gave him 2 huge bags of Legos, and Lolly's working on a project so big it outgrows his apartment. But there are dangers outside. Older guys who harass Lolly and jump him and his friend Vega. What would Jermaine want him to do? Get with a crew and take revenge? Or build a different kind of world for himself? Lolly's gonna have to figure out this one on his own. Okay, let's go ahead and read chapter 1. Chapter 1. What I couldn't get out of my skull was the thought of their rough, grimy hands all over my clean sneaks. What I couldn't get out of my heart was this joy-grabbing stone I felt there, partly because of these 2 thugs trailing me now, but more because I knew Jermaine wouldn't be here to protect my neck this time. He would never, ever be coming home. My daddy, Benny Roch Paul, had bought me these sneakers when I turned 12 over the summer. I wasn't about to let 2 older boys strolling down 125th Street snatch them off me. Besides being humiliated by it, my mother would whip my butt if she knew I had let some dude swipe my shoes. And then, if he found out, Daddy Roch Paul would drive over and whip me again. I flipped up the collar of my blue parka and continued down 125th Street, but rushed my step a little bit more. I heard the 2 boys follow me quicken their pace. Their footsteps behind me crunched on the ice that much faster. My heart was beating faster too. The streets around me were cheery though. Harlem's main street was laid out tonight with bright lights and Christmas tunes playing constant on the loudspeakers. I guess to put you more in the Christmas spirit. But for me, there was nothing, and I mean nothing that would ever make me feel Christmassy again. I was through with it. Done. Done with all of the Christmas music, wreaths, ornaments, and happy holiday shoppers. I had decided weeks ago that I would never be happy again, because it wasn't fair. Wasn't fair to get robbed of somebody I thought would be there for the rest of my life. Someone who was supposed to spend this Christmas with me, plus lots more Christmases. It also wasn't fair that I couldn't even walk down 125th Street without being harassed. Rushing along down the sidewalk, I glanced up at all the men who were passing, all of them older and most of them black like me. I was the youngest one out there and one of the few who felt scared to walk down the street. For us young brothers, taking a stroll down here, even on Christmas Eve, was not relaxing at all. I felt like I had just put my life on the line, straight up. All of these old dudes lived in a different world from me. I crossed the street and dipped into a gift shop on the corner. Grinning wide smiles, my 2 buddies waited for me outside, one of them sitting down on a fire hydrant and wiggling his fingers at me like I was a little infant in a stroller. I sucked my teeth and turned toward the sales clerk. "Happy holidays, young man," the clerk said. "Help you find something?" For a minute, his eyes peeped outside at the 2 boys waiting. He frowned at them. I watched them leave and sighed with relief. The clerk cocked his bald head to one side. "I need an excellent Christmas gift," I said. "One for my mother and another one for her friend, and for my father, but I don't have much money." "Last-minute shoppers," he said, smiling at me. "Come on, we'll get you straightened up. You're lucky we're open this late on Christmas Eve. 125th Street is shutting down." 125th is a big street that runs from East River on the east side of Manhattan to the Hudson River on the west side of Manhattan. The street cuts right through the neighborhood of Harlem and is where most of the main stores and shops and businesses are. The Apollo Theater, the Adam Clayton Powell Building, and the Studio Museum are all lined up along 125. If Harlem was a human body, then 125 would be its pumping heart, throbbing all the time. I don't know what the neighborhood's brain would be as I flew back toward home. I suddenly realized how heavy the gifts were that I had just bought in that shop. Ma and Yvonne would both be happy, I hoped, and Daddy with his gift too. But the bag handle cut into my fingers. And just as I switched the plastic shopping bag to my other hand, I saw them. Across the wide, black-topped, slushy street, those two older boys had caught sight of me again. I started to step even faster down 125th Street towards St. Nick, hoping that I could make it to the border before they could catch me. Where I live, it's all about borders and territories and crews. When you're a little kid in Harlem, you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything as long as you're careful. But when you start to get old, about my age, 12, things start to change. You can't go everywhere. You got to start worrying about crews. Crews are like cliques, groups of mostly boys and sometimes females who hang out together, mostly for fun, but for protection too. And each crew got its territory in their neighborhood, and if you ain't from that hood or a member of that set, you need to stay out. When I was young, I used to have a friend over on East 127th Street. His name was Cody. We used to play boxball and dodgeball on East 127th all the time, even though I lived on the west side. Nowadays, when I see Cody and he's with his crew, we don't talk at all. He just glares at me like I'm about to get jumped. He does it because we live in different places and we're old now. That's how crews work. So tonight, when I finally turned off of 125th and onto 8th Ave, the boys followed me had to stop right there. There wasn't no real roadblock set up for them. If they had really wanted to, they could have kept on following me right up the block and straight into St. Nick projects. But if they'd done that, somebody would have jumped them boys. Or worse. "Yo, what up, Lolly?" Concrete said to me as I walked up the path into St. Nick. We slapped hands. "Lolly Root Paul," he said again. "Hey, Crete," I said to him. "How Day-Day?" "He fine," Concrete said. "Thanks for asking. How's your mom's?" "She fine," I said. "Merry Christmas." "Yo, man, I don't celebrate White Jesus Day no more," he shouted. "This is the holiday of the oppressor." Concrete, about 30, was 10 years older than what Jermaine would have been. Crete was what we called him. I didn't even know what his real name was, and he probably didn't even know my real name wasn't Lolly, which is what everybody called me. "Sorry, man," I told him. Crete didn't even live in St. Nick, but he was always there hanging around the big courtyard at its center. As far back as I can remember, he had always been in that courtyard peddling weed. He was a dealer or a street pharmacist. The place where I lived, the St. Nicholas houses, otherwise known as the projects, was like a big family. Just like in a real family, you got some relatives you're cool with, and others you can't stand or who just act up all the time. The St. Nick houses was just like that. It was home. I got to my building where I lived with my moms, walked in through the broken door and took the steps because our elevator was jacked up too. The city never fixed anything. 7 flights of stairs. About halfway up, the stairwell got all dark. The lights on this floor had burned out, meaning I had to be careful climbing stairs in this gloominess. Being in the dark forced my brain to concentrate more on the smell, which was mostly laid over pee. You got used to it though, the pee smell. Just then, I raised one foot up and hit something big and lumpy. The big lump jumped and clubbed my leg. I stumbled back and almost tripped down the stairs until I realized the big lump was Moses, who was an old drunk man. When it was real cold outside, like it was tonight, he sometimes slept on the stairs. Until the kids ran him out of here. Or the cops. "Merry Christmas, old drunk," I said to him. "Show respect, boy," he shouted up after me. "I ain't no drunk. I only booze it up twice a year." "Yeah, I know, Moses, when it's your birthday and when it's not your birthday." His jokes, I'd heard them all before. Moses cackled like an old witch in the darkness while I continued climbing stairs. Okay, so that is the end of the chapter, and that was The Stars Beneath Our Feet. Okay, so that's 2 great books right here for you guys to check out, and have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week with Miscellaneous Monday. Bye!